using pastels to create the Northern Lights with Mr. G. All right, so we are going to start with just a typical black piece of paper, and what I'm choosing to do is I'm choosing to create kind of some mountains or hills. There's no rhyme or reason to this. It's kind of random, and then what I'm going to do is just color those hills in, those mountains in the background in, using the pastel chalk. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to rub it in once I get this part of it done. So throughout this video, we'll be fast forwarding some of this just to make it not so monotonous, not so boring. So we're going to speed this up. I'm just taking my finger to press down. Notice I'm using my left hand to hold the paper. That's going to make things a lot easier to do this. And then we're just blending it into the paper, and we'll come back to it a little bit later on. You can see that there's a little bit of roughness going on the paper. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to choose a different color. What I'm choosing is kind of a dark blue out of our pastel set that we use. And you can see how really nice it looks. Kind of a bright little blue. And then I'm just going to push it away from the mountain area. So I'm not going to blend it into the mountain area. You could do that, and then you can go back over the mountain area if you'd like. So here's another example. I'm just using the side of my pastel like that. And that gives me some really nice broad strokes, and I can cover a lot of area with that pastel. And I don't have to use the tip of my pastel. And this also just gives me a nice soft feel. And then what I'll do is I will go over it again with my finger once I put some more chalk down. This time I've chosen to take some blue, and without rubbing it, I'm going to try to mix these two together just a little bit. So you could do either way, whatever works best for you or whatever you want to creatively try, just to experiment with it, because it is your artwork. Notice I'm getting some dust on there, and that's okay. It's nice to have that because you can use that to push and blend it in. So I'm going to take my finger and blend this all together. First do the bottom part, and then I'll take the top part and blend that in as well. See, I took all that dust and blended it. So I want to kind of cover a lot of my paper, so when we do our Northern Lights, then we're covering the rest of it. You notice most paintings, the artists cover the entire canvas with something, whether it's paint or pastel. Now, I've tried this out, and this seems to be the most successful way of doing this project. So we're going to take a piece of paper. We're going to kind of tear it into even what might look like mountains to you or something like that. I just wanted to give some hills of some sort. So you just take your fingers and you just rip it. We might have some of those for you, especially if you're younger, and that might take a lot of work to do. Then you just take the paper down, put the paper down. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some pastel of my choice, whatever color you want. And then I'm going to rub it on the top of the paper, not on the art board so far. And then we're going to rub it down. And I'm going to do the whole thing. I'm going to do just a little part of it, right about there. And that's how our Northern Lights are going to start. I'm going to take my finger and push up. Let's finish this up here, and I'll show you what that looks like. It's actually really cool. This is one of the tools that we can use for pastel. You can use this in painting as well. And there you have kind of what you might represent like the Northern Lights. We can do different colors with it. So I'm going to take the rest of the paper, move it into a different area, and I'm going to choose a different color. You can do all one color. You can do several different colors. I'm going to actually mix this with white, and I might even add another color to it. And then watch what I do after this too. I'm going to add a little bit of the blue chalk, but now I'm going to go up. Just experiment with this. You can do this. You don't have to do this. But I thought it's kind of neat because when you look at the Northern Lights, sometimes there's brighter spikes going up. So now once again, just going to take my finger and rub it in, just going one direction up, pulling from that paper, pulling the chalk from the paper and pushing it onto the canvas. And I'll pull that off, and that's what it looks like. This is close to my completed project, but I wanted to add a little bit of stars, since you see Northern Lights mostly at night. and on clear nights without clouds. I noticed this area might want to stand out a little bit more, so I took some white pastel and just ran it across one little tiny edge of it and experimented with it just to see how that would work. And you notice what that does is it kind of creates the illusion of a shadow underneath it. And it gives it nice contrast between light and dark. Now for the, add a few more stars in here. Now for the bottom section, I thought that I would just add some trees. And trees are, I just, make the trunk of the tree, and then I let these are evergreen trees. So they're kind of like triangles. You just kind of go down in the shape of a triangle, just like I demonstrated earlier. And there you have the completed drawing. I'm just going to give you a little fast forward of another one that I tried. I tried this several times because I want to let you know that this is the first time that I've ever done this. And so I thought I would experiment. This time I'm adding some black with the blue just to see what that would look like. This was an earlier version. This is one of my earlier pastel ones. And this one, to me, didn't work out as well. I like using the template. I like using the torn paper. I think it makes some really nice crisp edges. But what I thought I would do is just make some lines that look like maybe either C's or S's or just wavy lines that go across the sky. When you look at Northern Lights, it's just really hard to pin down what shape they should be because they're all so different. So with these, I'm just trying it all out, seeing which direction I should go. You can use just a regular line too. You don't have to go like scratching back and forth like I am. You can make a line first and then you can try to do the scratching or just laying down of the chalk. And you can add other colors to it like I'm doing here. And then we'll do the brushing up again. It's kind of cool to watch it go up like that and just blend into the sky. And then in order to make it look smoother, you want to get to the edges of those with your fingers and try to smooth out the edge and go all, and then just keep pushing upward. We'll speed this up so you can kind of see what the final product is. If you have extra chalk on your paper, you could probably just dust it off, clean it up with a paper towel if you get it onto your desk. Now on this one I also just added some trees because the focus is really the Northern Lights. That's what we're really looking at. But to create a scene, there we go. That's that first one. I tried another one. This one I didn't find as successful. I tried some wavy lines and then I just pushed a bunch of chalk pastels going straight up. And it worked out, but it wasn't my favorite one. And then I had a lake down here with some reflections and then put a little bit of reflection on the mountains. And there you have it. Thanks for... Wait. Okay, one last thing I forgot to tell you. Pastels can be very messy, and so be careful if you feel like you want to touch your face. Make sure you use paper towel or a wet wipe first, otherwise you'll look like me. Thanks for watching.